What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on this car again, working on getting the rear end in it and getting the rear clip finished up. Got a couple things to weld on the back of this car before we can finish up painting it and starting to rehang the body. And I've done a little bit of work on that car, getting the seat swapped out and whatnot, so that's what we're up to. And a little later on in the video, we've got an announcement to make, so stick around for that. All right, so Dad was back here welding, and as soon as I decided to get the camera out and record something, he was done. But all he was doing was welding us on some little tabs to strap the car down in the trailer, and then some smaller tabs to do body braces with. And now he's working on getting the fuel cell bracket straightened back out so that we can get it put in here, or at least get it put in here so that we can weld our little sliders for it. But I told y'all earlier about this seat, so I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So that right there is the seat that we just took out. That's the seat that I ran the Rattler with, and it was built for me, and it's a comfortable seat and all. It's just really big. From there to the back is a lot longer than the Butlers are, and the shoulders have this tubing on the back of them, which again, I understand why they do it. I'm not saying it's a bad seat, and I'm not saying that the seat doesn't work. It's just, in these cars, it's hard to make it fit. It's hard enough to make me fit, let alone a big seat. So we swapped it out and put my Butler back in there. We never had the Butler in there to begin with, but the Butler is in there now. As you can see, it doesn't have any tubing back here so that we can slide the seat further back, and from the front of the seat to the back is a lot shorter so that we can slide the whole seat back some and get my butt further back, which lets my legs stretch out. So that's what was happening in the Rattler, was because that seat was essentially just rocked further up like this in the car, my legs were really not touching the seat at all. It was just the very tip of my ass really that was in the seat, and I was essentially having to hold my heels off the floor to keep from like dragging the brake or the throttle. So the entire race I was just having to hold myself up essentially by the steering wheel, you know, to keep from my legs laying down and laying on the brake. And that's just something that comes along with a new car that you never sat in and you don't have a lot of time to practice in. When you don't make a long run, you don't know how it's going to feel, and when you are trying to practice for a race, you don't have time to sit there and just burn up laps, you know. So we learned from it. We got this seat in here now. This is the same seat that's in that car over there, and we went 200 laps in it, no problem. So like I said, we believe this will fix our issue. And you can also tell how much shorter this seat is. With that seat, with the ISP, that fire bottle, you couldn't even see it. The seat was over top of it, covering it, and now it's, you know, there's a gap between the seat and the fire bottle now, so that shows you how much we've been able to move it back. So like I said, it'll be better now, it'll be comfortable, so we won't have to worry about falling out of the seat anymore. It'll be comfortable enough to drive just like I am in that car. Alright, I hadn't really recorded too much today because I just hadn't really thought about it, but Dad got the fuel cell brackets welded onto the rear clip. He's working on the actual bracket for the fuel cell itself right now. We were going to try and save that other one that was originally on this car, but it's a little too bent up to save, so he just made a new one. And with rule changes coming, I guess either later on in, I feel like it's later on in the season, but it may be next year. Either way, fixing to have to run a plate on both sides of that deal, so we're going ahead and putting them on now so we don't have to do it later. So that's about all we've done today. I've done nothing to speak of other than knock a little rubber off the car and pull a little silicone off the ductwork so that we can try and hammer it back out flat. So that's about all we've done today thus far. All right guys, it's now the next day. We are still working on the rear clip. Dad's doing a little welding to it. Getting our deals welded in for the bumper bar to attach to. Cut them on the Grizzly bandsaw that we've got over here. That Allied hooked us up with, and it cut really well. That was my first time really seeing it cut anything, because like I said, I've been in school, so I don't get to come up here too often. But it cut really well, so that was cool. It's a neat little tool. Also, I know the shop looks like a bomb went off in here. I know it does every weekend, but when you're trying to rebuild a car and work on another one, it just gets messy in here, but we'll get it cleaned up. So either way, that's what we're up to again, is just finishing up that rear clip. All right, there you guys go. One completed clip. So now we're going to paint it, and then we're going to start reassembling this car. Our next race is going to be at Montgomery, hopefully on April 29th, I think it is. We're going to try and take this car back. This is a car that we ran the Alabama 200 with. If we cannot get it completed in time, we're going to take that car, the car that we built ourselves, and that raced at the Rattler 2 weekends ago. But for now, the goal is to take this one because that one has never been to Montgomery. So we're just kind of wanting to go back with something that we know. So that is the plan for now. Something else I mentioned earlier in the video was a big announcement I had coming, so I will let y'all in on that little secret. I am getting ready to start a machine shop. I've already got the website up, and I will link it in the description as well as the Facebook page to it. But I'm getting ready to start a machine shop. We're going to try and put the machine somewhere in that side over there where we build the chassis. So right now we are just doing 3D printed work and solid model design, stuff like that. But as soon as our CNC gets here, we will start full-on custom work for people. We're going to try and make some race car parts, job shop type stuff, just whatever I can make really. So we'll be doing that here in hopefully the next 2 months. But also the website will have like my hats and some Fierce hats, things like that. So for you guys on the YouTube channel, if you're wanting to buy merch and things like that, you'll be able to go to the website and buy it from there. Or if you need parts, whether you're a racer or you just need something made, hopefully we'll be able to hook you up. So that is our exciting announcement, and I will kind of keep you guys updated here on the YouTube page as the machine gets here and we start getting set up and things like that. So I will keep y'all in the loop on what's going on there, but I just figured I would come on here and tell everybody that is what we're heading into. That is our new little adventure. All right, paint's going on. Obviously we don't really have the time or the money to strip this thing all the way down and send it back to be powder coated, so we're spray painting it, but I don't think anyone will notice. All right guys, while the rear clip was drying, cleaned a little bit on this car, but until the rear clip is fully dry and we can put the fuel cell and the rear end, things like that back in it, not a whole lot we can do. So we'll go ahead and cap this video off right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot that you guys take interest in what me and Dad do every weekend, and we have a lot of fun making these videos. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one, and we will see you guys later.